Good morning. Thanks for being here. It's fun to have a morning meeting. I feel like I was thinking to myself, like, I'm gonna have coffee with friends this morning, and you guys can hey Shannon, jump in the chat, say good morning, tell us how you're doing, and we'll get started here pretty quick. We'll be respectful of time, and we've got a lot of really good news. But feel free to interact. If you have questions, do throw them in the Q&A box if you can. That way we don't miss them because in the chat you guys can get going and then we can accidentally lose the questions. So we don't want to do that. We want to make sure we see them all. All right, I'm flipping over to the chat. I was staring at participants so I could see who all was here. All right, good morning. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to be obviously looking at some notes. So if you are asking questions, I'll catch myself back up. But do participate in the chat so we get to have an interactive conversation. First and foremost, again, thank you guys for being here. I really look forward to these opportunities to connect with you guys and to share updates. It has been a really important part of my presidency this year is to have these connections, and you guys always show up, and it means a lot to me. Today, we're going to highlight some of the foundational things that the board has prioritized. We've had some advocacy wins. We have some upcoming events and overall what our plans are for 2026. We've had a really busy and productive couple months, and I'm excited to share with you guys more about what we've been up to. So, foundationally, we have looked at our tasks and our strategic plan, and our strategic plan is very advantageous and it covers a lot of really important things for NAVTA and for the profession. At a recent board meeting, we determined that some of the critical tasks have to be prioritized before we can even get moving on some of the strategic plan. And so, because of that, we've identified 11 top priorities for the next 8 to 10 months, ranging from standardizing committee functions to improving our database and technology. So, hopefully, we can have a more interactive, more user friendly membership database. We're excited about that. And we're putting some efforts into leadership training for our committee leaders, our district representatives, and the board. So we're really working to create that solid foundation, that cohesive strategy, so we're all moving in the same direction with things like committee standardization. So, one consistent set of policies, procedures, resources for all committees with special sections where needed, because all of our committees are doing amazing things, a little different, but we want to make sure that from committee to committee, we're using standard procedures. The database and technology improvements, we really want to get a new member database to find tools to make it easier for everyone to connect, for you guys to engage on the website and together. And for our committees to collaborate, to have one place that we're working all together. So we're putting a lot of time and effort into improving our technology. Also, leadership development. We have an amazing group of leaders that do a lot of hard work for our association, and we want to make sure we're providing them regular training and for the board members to have regular training that helps to clarify roles, responsibilities, and expectations so that everyone knows what direction we're heading in together. I always think of the Finding Nemo swim down, right? If we're all swimming down in the right direction, we move together, we can really make a change. And also governance improvements, implementing a formal board self-evaluation, making sure that the board is meeting and being strategic and not operational, as well as strengthening the executive director feedback process so that we're able to talk more with our members and within ourselves as a board to make sure that we're held accountable for the goals and big promises that we make. We're really excited about that because we believe that these tasks will lay the groundwork to make NAVTA more efficient, more effective, and strategic. We anticipate these items to be in place by next summer. So we're going to work really hard throughout this season to make sure that NAVTA can truly operate on a solid foundation. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I wish I had like confetti. If I had it in time, I'd have like a popper so I could have some confetti because we are so proud and so grateful and so thrilled to share that last week AAVSB approved a resolution that was generated by NAVTA's request that recommends that every state board have a veterinary technician represented on their board. So this is Resolution 25-4, and it encourages all state boards to add credentialed veterinary technicians as a voting member, not just in advisory or non-voting roles. It does not mandate veterinary technician representative, but this is a milestone for our profession, making a real indication of the understanding of the importance of our voices. NAVTA initiated the resolution in April 2024 and looks forward to working closely with AAVSB to promote adoption in all states. This achievement highlights NAVTA's advocacy impact and the importance of representation in shaping the profession's future. A huge and special thank you to the Government Relations Committee for their support in helping to prepare this resolution. Phil.
Becky, to quick interjection here. We're not certain yet, and I've asked AAVSB if that resolution would be applicable, and we know it's not mandatory that states comply with that. It's a recommendation, but we're asking if that is also applicable for Puerto Rico. I know we've got some members down in Puerto Rico who are asking about that as well. So I've reached out to AAVSB for clarification on that. So as soon as we hear back from them on that, we'll be able to spread that word as well.
Well, if we don't, we know what we're going to make sure we're working on next then, right? We'll look forward to that update. Thank you. But just again, the Government Relations Committee and Sam Geiling, who we said goodbye to in the last town hall, this is a huge accomplishment. They put a lot of work into supporting this and to helping the board prepare the resolution. So a very special thank you to them. That was really exciting. And then I get to tell you a little bit about my experience at WASAVA, the World Small Animal Veterinary Association, where I got to connect with colleagues literally around the globe. We had a lot of very valuable conversations, and most importantly, the biggest takeaway is that WASAVA is becoming more inclusive of veterinary technicians and understanding of the role of veterinary technicians. Previously, it was a veterinary only organization in terms of boards and governance, and they have recently opened up two positions that I know of for veterinary technicians. One from the United States happens to be me, and then another one from from Canada, I believe, is now serving on committees. So as they're opening up committee seats, they're taking into consideration and being inclusive of veterinary technicians. And while I thought to myself in the beginning, like, boy, it seems like finally they're being more inclusive. When I learned more about the state of veterinary technicians and nurses around the globe, it made more sense to me why they might be a little bit behind on that inclusion, in the sense that veterinary technicians don't exist in a lot of countries. There is no role, there's no education. In the countries they do exist, in many of the countries they do exist, it's all on the job training. There's no credentialing, there's no regulation, there's no certification. And so we are very advanced in how we see veterinary technicians. And there's a long way for us to go, and that certainly doesn't mean it's a moving goalpost for us. But it made me aware of the ways that we might be able to start thinking about how we can share resources globally, or to help share some of our educational resources on a global level to help promote education and advancement of veterinary technicians, and how we can work with global organizations to bring awareness to the real true role of veterinary technicians and how it can advance their practices. And while we have a lot of work to do at home, I think there's always just the opportunity to think about how we can be more inclusive and to share what we have. It was a beautiful opportunity, and next year I look forward to attending again as a committee member and as president of NAVTA in Warsaw, Poland. So my Duolingo has switched from Portuguese over to Polish, and we'll see how I do. At the end of the day, these connections and these relationships that we're building are invaluable in terms of advocacy, recognition, and then just the growth here in the United States and abroad. So it was a wonderful opportunity, and I encourage folks to look into global organizations and how they can participate going forward. It's just another way that we can be advancing our profession. In more good news, National Veterinary Technician Week is coming October 12th through the 18th, and we're getting ready. I'm excited. I have a whole week of travel to be doing education that week. So I'll be out, hopefully, get to see some of you in person or online as we have tons of educational opportunities. There's a lot going on. And here at NAVTA, we're already starting to drip some of the features on social media of our theme this year, which is Paths to Success, shining a light on credentialed veterinary technician stars. This intends to celebrate the diverse journey of all of the credentialed veterinary technicians in our profession and their mentors. So, throughout the week, we'll have exclusive contests, of course, giveaways for members, prize packs, trips to conferences, more. We've got a lot of exciting stuff coming. So, make sure you're following on all the social things and doing the clicking and the booping and the following because that's where it's all going to happen. And you'll have a chance to participate. We're also going to have a member renewal special. So if you renew your membership for 2026 during Vet Tech Week, you're entered in additional drawings for prizes. Make sure you go to our website, download the poster, read about the theme. There's assets there. Start hanging that poster around work. Just like gently slide it into your boss's inbox. Make sure that they are aware, they don't forget, and they're ready to celebrate you guys. Along with that, in terms of amazing veterinary technicians and celebrating them, Vet Tech of the Year nominations are open until November 7th. I can't even believe we're saying November 7th, like in general. It's just the year has flown by. But if you know an exceptional credentialed veterinary technician who deserves some recognition this year, and I know that there are thousands out there, so we should be flooded with nominations, nominate them for NAVTA's Veterinary Technician of the Year award. Nominees can be recognized for advancing the profession, service to their community, practice, specialty, innovations, things that improve animal care, team culture, well-being, leadership and service at the national or local level are all great examples of folks who are um, qualified and should be honored for what they're doing, should be celebrated for their hard work. The award winner will be announced during NAVTA's annual business meeting. These nominations close November 7th, so please, please, please make sure the stars of our profession get the recognition that they deserve. Excuse me, looking ahead to 2026. Again, it's like, how are we even saying that? So we're planning we're in the beginning stages of planning board and district rep training. We're really excited about this. The district rep system has been a network for years that has tried to provide communication between state associations and the board and to help bridge gaps in communication and make sure that everyone knows about opportunities on both sides and that we are there to support their needs in the states. So we're going to be doing some training to help their leadership and their the way that they function. So if you don't know your district rep, make sure that you're finding out who they are and making sure that your state associations and your district reps, you know who they are and you're participating because they're the foundation of how NAVTA gets information to who needs the help and who needs the support the most at whatever times. So our annual meeting will be on um, in the chat if we have that, because I've got TBD on my notes, so I don't know if we have that date for the annual meeting yet. I might have said January 26th, but you guys can confirm that for me. Also, talking about 27th, I was so close, January 27th. At least I would have been early. So January 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So talking about Vet Tech Week, it's always kind of one of those things where it's like celebrating veterinary technicians is so important, but so are our veterinary assistants. And so this week or this year, we have National Approved Veterinary Assistant Week, May 17th to 23rd. So mark your calendars, make sure that you're ready to celebrate your assistants as well, because they play a vital role in the veterinary team. And again, we talked about the membership promotion, so you might as well go ahead and do that because we want to make sure everyone renews their membership to ensure continued resources, information passed on to what's happening, our recognition opportunities, and the programs that we have planned ahead. So to stay up to date on everything that we're doing and to be a part of that, you've got to renew that membership. So please, please, please Get on top of that, take advantage of the opportunity to be entered for some prizes because why not, right? And it's a great thing. Everybody says membership is a good thing for Vet Tech Week. I think it should be part of your work package. But if it's not, drop the hint for your bosses that this is at least something that they could be doing Vet Tech Week to make sure that you guys are supported. All right, that's mostly what I have for you guys. So get into your Q&A, get into the Q&A and ask the questions that you have. It means the world to me that you guys take the time to join us every time we have these town halls. It gives us an opportunity to connect and for me to make sure that I am seeing you as much as possible. We are taking really important strides to lay down the foundation for stronger future governance, for advancing the advocacy, and for celebrating our members in as meaningful ways as we can. Your involvement, your ideas, your passion, that's what keeps us moving. That's what keeps us on goal. And so please stay engaged, continue to participate, look out for upcoming campaigns and events, and continue to share your voice. It means a lot to me and to the entire organization because together we are building a stronger future for our profession. So I'm excited to answer your questions and be engaged and then send you guys off to the rest of your day and sip my coffee. I probably can see the Q&A if I click on it, huh? There's no open questions, nothing. No questions at all. Or should we do the awkward stare into the abyss? Ask your questions. Why you can't? We got up so early. Everyone's like it's early. Thank you, Shannon. And good looking out, girl. Will NAVTA still offer a combo? Absolutely. We will continue. I didn't even finish the question. I got so excited. Sorry. Combo membership with the Feline VMA. Um, that is a really cool partnership that we have, and Lauren here works very closely. She's down there for me. Works very closely with the Feline VMA, and that will be continued membership, Shannon. So thank you for that question. What else, guys?
Becky, I think next time we do this at 9 o'clock, we should offer like free Starbucks gift cards or something. Because for me, it's way too
It
early.
can't be too late. It can't be too late for us to raffle some off, Phil. I think Shannon just earned one. She knows I'll buy her a coffee next time I see her. I'll buy her the most appropriate cocktail for the hour next time I see her. Thank you guys again for being here then. You know how to reach out to us. Hopefully you do with any questions, info@nafta.net. Rebecca's asking, does NAFTA have any updates on changes to the AAVSB recommended scope of practice? Do we have updates on that, Phil?
So there's a task force that we formed to look at all of those. There's 3 different documents. The task force just finished their work yesterday, and their recommendations are in the hands of the executive committee, and then soon to go to the board of directors for final review. And then NAFTA will submit those comments. And to be completely honest, I have not looked at what those comments are yet. They just came in yesterday. We'll submit those comments to AAVSB before their November 1 deadline.
I did look at them and they have made some incredibly intelligent, smart, valid comments and suggestions. And we did have a VTS in dentistry on there who made some very specific dentistry recommendations. But I did look over those comments and they're outstanding. And so I look forward to sharing those because we have gotten to where I feel like we're making really thoughtful recommendations that they're taking really into consideration that have improved, I think, all the documents we've worked on with other organizations. That's really cool. Um, More volunteer opportunities for NAFTA in 2026. So I know we put a call out for volunteers. So best place to keep an eye out for those is always going to be social media as well as emails because if you are a NAFTA member, you should be getting the newsletters, which have the calls to volunteers, and then all the social media. Other places and other opportunities, Phil?
Yeah, we are. I think what we'll do is typically what we'll do is we'll get the committee leaders in place by January and then ask them how many seats they need to fill on their committees. So probably somewhere in the first quarter of 2026 is when there'll be a call for volunteers. with specific committees listed saying, membership committee needs 3 people or whatever it might be. So certainly by the end of the first quarter of 2026, there'll be the committee calls. Lord only knows how many task force we'll be forming between now and then. And those are always outreaches that we just do as they come up.
That said, we are right now looking for some non-VTS, for example, you, Shannon, non-VTS credentialed veterinary technicians for our CVTS committee. We still have a couple spots open on that committee. So if you do have an interest, or throughout the year, if you have a really passion for something, don't hesitate to reach out and just let us know, because sometimes we have special needs. Either way, I want to at least put your name in my head so I know when there are opportunities to be reaching out. So when you're interested, please make sure you're reaching out, because there's always something to do. What else? Those were great questions. I don't know if you guys can hear, my dog is snoring as loud as she possibly can about 3 feet from this computer. I mean, it is like I think she has doggy sleep apnea. Have we ever studied that, guys? Because she is going to it. She might need a little doggy CPAP. She's not even a bulldog. She's just a pit bull. All right, you guys, on that note, I think I'm going to curl up and take a nap. It's so early. I appreciate you guys all for being here so much. If there's any other questions, you know where to find us. Again, your participation means everything. So thank you for being here. And we'll see you guys in January, January 27th at 7 p.m.